It is 8:02 in Operation Stormwatch on Kansas City's Morning News. Good morning. I'm E.J. Becker.
I'm Ellen Schenk. Our top stories.
Snow totals have been upped. We're looking at up to a foot of the white stuff before we're done.
Schools and events and some power outages across the metro.
Operation Stormwatch continues now on Kansas City's Morning News. Let's go straight to Jennifer Naramore, staff meteorologist here at KMBZ.
It is coming down fast and furious. So some of that is the very heavy snowfall that's coming in, but it's also the wind helping to blow that a little bit, and the moderate to heavy snow will continue to spread in. Once it starts, it is really coming down anywhere from 1 to 2 inches, locally more in just an hour's time, guys. And so that means we're really going to see problems on those roadways increasing.
The snow and narrow streets in Kansas City's urban core mean big trouble for emergency vehicles. Our Bill Grady was out firsthand with one of the people trying to keep them clean.
We rode with 24-year veteran snowplow driver Willie Davidson. Here in the area just east of KU Med Center, the streets laced with cars parked on both sides.
Just parking wherever they want to or wherever they can, not understanding that I'm in a small pickup and I can barely get through here. So imagine my crew in a dump truck with a plow, 2 feet wider.
The core, the old northeast of Waldo, is targeted. The Kansas City Fire Department surveyed which streets for their purposes were impassable. The request is if you're on a north-south street, park on the west side. Those on east-west streets on the north. If not, your car may end up in a tow lot and you would be looking at a hefty fee. At 40th and Bell, Bill Grady, KMBZ News.
8:05 now as Kansas City's Morning News continues. Our Kyle Hendricks is one of the brave souls out and about this morning on local highways. Kyle, where are you now, and what are the conditions?
Well, EJ, I actually had to pull off on Shawnee Mission Parkway just off of I-35 to try and scrape off my windshield wipers. That ice had started to accumulate on the windshield wipers. And yeah, I'd say, just in the last, 5 minutes, the snow here off of Shawnee Mission Parkway has picked up. The wind has really picked up, probably another 10 miles an hour, and it's basically kind of whiteout conditions.
Operation Stormwatch continues. E.J. Becker, Ellen Schenk with you, and let's go to Carl in Lee's Summit as we continue our coverage. Carl, my wife is in Lee's Summit right now, just went out on the back deck, measured the snow on the back deck at 10.5 inches in Lee's Summit.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I'm just getting home. I work out by the raceway. The average travel time from wherever you're normally going to wherever you're normally going to is about double. Please, people, slow down and arrive alive.
Let's check in with our friend at KC Scout. Rusty James is kind enough to join us.
Rusty, is this a case of people not driving with enough caution, or is it just that the weather conditions are too much to overcome?
Well, I think the weather, as far as the road conditions, the rate the snow was falling was hard to keep up with. But we had far too many people that didn't heed the warnings that were issued the last 2 days to stay home if you didn't need to be out. And as a result, we've got a lot of stranded motorists, a lot of cars that have slid off the highways, and I think we've been a little spoiled the last couple of years, and people just didn't pay enough attention.
I've seen pictures out from KCI this morning. Lisa Carter in studio with us now. I've seen pictures from KCI, and they're all just standing there in line looking awfully hopeful, and I think they know better.
How would you like to be flying today? I think I'd stay home. No. We've been checking again at flykci.com. That's where you go to get the very latest information. Almost all the flights canceled except for one until noon.
Right.
So one little flight, and what's that, about 8:30?
It's an 8:40 flight to Denver. Really?
More snow. Where do you want to go?
Seriously? How's that happen?
Definitely want to check out flykci.com.
As you go later in the day, there are more scheduled departures that are listed as on time. However, you just have to wonder. Because, those which airplanes are banking on getting in here in order to be able to take you and go.
And it's that trickle-down effect as well. Whatever happens here, flights down the road. So pretty good shot that you are not going to be flying out of KCI today.
FlyKCI.com.
By the way, real quick as well, Twitter, obviously very active this morning.
Yes.
With all this, getting lots of reports. Hashtag Mo Weather. Mo.
Okay.
MOWX.
Yes.
Or Kansas Weather.
Yes.
KSWX. Anything you guys are seeing out there on the roads, shoot us a tweet. And hashtag OP Stormwatch. OP Stormwatch.
And so Kim Qualls of KDOT on the newsline. Kim, it seems like every time we talk to you, it's getting a little bit worse.
Yeah, and right now, it's probably bad, period. We've got completely snowpack conditions in all of Kansas. We've got zero visibility in many, many areas. We really encourage drivers to stay home and stay safe. If you've got to go out, be sure someone knows you're leaving. Have your cell phone with you because it's just nasty outside. It really is.
Let's talk about power outages, because you get power outages in situations like this. Krista Claus is with us this morning to take a look at that situation. Krista?
Hey there, EJ. Yeah, the very wet and heavy snow is taking a toll on the trees. If you will look outside your window, you'll see that. That's the problem, and that's creating more power outages throughout the metro. According to KCP&L's power grid map, about 3,800 homes are without power right now, including areas in Blue Springs, Raymore, Lee Summit. Also, Gladstone and Overland Park has some patches out of power. Yesterday, KCP&L told me on Power Lunch they were having more crews working the overnight shift. They were expecting this, and I believe you're going to speak with KCP&L.
Into the text line already, 22980 this morning, 8 inches on the south side in Olathe.
The snow is heavy. That's why Michelle Robin, a chiropractor with Your Wellness Connection in Shawnee, advises clients to take breaks and not shovel the whole driveway at one time.
You know, it's kind of like doing leaves. Instead of going out and doing 5 bags, taking a break, they'll go out and they'll do 20 bags, and then they're so sore.
For your back, Michelle says to use the suck and tuck method to engage your core muscles. That means sucking in your stomach and tucking in your butt. She also says to keep the coat on, even if you're sweating, because going from hot to cold can cause muscle contractions. Valerie Perezzo, KMBZ News.